We got no more pay-per-view stops heading into WrestleMania, but we do got a lot to talk about as we head into that event. This is WrestleRound, bringing you today's top 5 wrestling news and rumors. Make sure you guys have those notifications turned on to always be up to date, and let's get right into it. Let's start off with more news coming out of this weekend's WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. At that event, we got Brock Lesnar winning the Elimination Chamber, becoming WWE Champion once again after dropping it just a couple of weeks ago. And now, of course, his matchup against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania is going to be a winner-takes-all. WWE officially confirmed that. And according to latest report, it looks like Brock Lesnar decided to go off script in that Elimination Chamber matchup. So because Bobby Lashley had to be removed from the bout due to a real injury, he didn't get the chance to enter from his pod and be added to the match. So when the time came for that to happen, for him to enter, Brock Lesnar decided that instead of waiting for another 5 minutes, he's just gonna break open his pod before it's his turn to come out. PW Insider ended up reporting that Brock Lesnar legitimately smashed through the door of his pod to enter the match, and that was not planned. Obviously, it was planned for Brock Lesnar to win the Elimination Chamber matchup, but it looks like it was supposed to last at least 2 or 3 more minutes, because a lot of times WWE don't even wait for the full 5 minutes before we get another entry. This was probably the right decision made by Brock Lesnar. With Bobby Lashley being taken out of the match, it became extremely obvious that Brock was gonna win. So the momentum was just going to die down the next couple of minutes as we were just waiting for what we know was going to happen. If anything, this kind of speed things up and just kept the action going. Brock Lesnar came in, started eliminating people, started F5ing people, gave Austin Theory a massive spotlight and a massive F5 from top of the pod, and then that was it. Again, we knew it was gonna happen, so they might as well just speed it up. Brock Lesnar is known for improvising during matches and just going off script based on what he thinks is right, so I'm not surprised that this went down. Sticking with the Elimination Chamber, it looks like 2 big legends appearances were canceled. First off, Kurt Angle ended up clarifying some confusions. He did indicate that he was supposed to return at the Royal Rumble or around the Royal Rumble so that they could build up a storyline in which he will end up being the special guest referee in Saudi Arabia at that Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. They were supposed to do RK Bro versus Alpha Academy once again, but again this time with Kurt Angle being the special guest referee. Angle then went on to indicate that this was his only return plan. He was not supposed to be part of WrestleMania. I hope this is something that still happens. I would love to see it. And hey, there is still some time if they do want to do it for WrestleMania. Reports also indicate that there was a point where The Undertaker was going to make an appearance at the pay-per-view, but that was changed and he didn't make the trip. The American Badass Undertaker did ended up showing up at one of Bad Bunny's concert over the weekend, so he still ended up making an appearance at a jam-packed stadium. On to some other news, we are talking the latest in regards to Cody Rhodes, who's literally trolling the internet right now, acting as if he is already retired. He ended up posting an image on Instagram of him just doing his father duties with the caption, "This is what retirement looks like." This is obviously Cody Rhodes throwing people off because PW Insider reported that Cody Rhodes was seen at Orlando International Airport earlier on yesterday, and PW Insider previously reported that Cody Rhodes was expected to be at the Performance Center this weekend. He is obviously getting ready for his return to WWE television, unless he is just flying to Florida to throw people off and act like he is over there for that. I highly doubt though, based on everything right now, it does seem like Cody is headed back to WWE. Don't expect him to be Miz partner though, because as we reported before, that is said to be Logan Paul. Because yes, Miz and Logan Paul are going to be taking on the Mysterios at WrestleMania. Talking about WrestleMania, we were talking about a massive matchup that was supposed to happen this year if Ronda Rousey didn't return. Give Me Sport is reporting that in November and early December, WWE was seriously considering a fatal 4-way match with the 4 Horsewomen. The idea was to have Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair close out night 1 in Dallas, with the speculation being that that could have been a winner takes all type of matchup, as both the SmackDown and the Raw Women's Championship would have been on the line. Obviously, WWE didn't go with that decision, and the reason being was that plans changed once they were able to secure Ronda Rousey. Now we know Ronda is gonna take on Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch is gonna take on Bianca, Sasha returned at the Royal Rumble, but we haven't seen her since then, and Bayley is supposed to be returning sometime this month, or just sometime before WrestleMania. I'm hoping that they don't leave Sasha and Bayley out of WrestleMania. Whether or not this was gonna happen this year, in my opinion, this definitely should main event a WrestleMania in the future. It has to happen. Anyways, guys, that is today's top 5 wrestling news and rumors. If you enjoy and for more coverage, make sure to have those notifications turned on. Stay savage, and I'll catch you on the next one.